with the second half of the Superstar Series season in 2022 set to get underway here today. We're coming at you live from Watkins Glen International, this beautiful 2.4-mile road course in scenic New York State. This is going to be a lot of fun for 32 laps around these twists and turns for race number 16 of the 1UP Superstar Series schedule for 2022. Alongside me in the booth today for today's race is James Ellison, who was in the truck race at this very track on Friday. You must have learned a lot from running out there, but these cars handle a lot differently and they go a lot faster. So I don't know if you can really compare the two races, but extra track time can never hurt.
Oh, it certainly cannot. And it's certainly not hurting those who drop down to trucks or Nitro National to get some more track time for today, even if they've run this track many times already. Extra track time is always worth it, especially just to make sure you haven't forgotten how to run on the course.
Absolutely. Some guys like Jake McMillan, who won the truck race on Friday in commanding fashion. He's in the field today. Duke Ansack as well. Jared Polanski and a few others. Nick Ortiz was in the truck race as well. A lot of them are going to have some good notes to build off of for today's race, as we can now look at the starting lineup for today's 32-lap race. Christian Vargas gets his first pole of the season at Watkins Glen. He lines up on pole with Duke Ansack, who finished 12th in that truck race, lining up alongside him. Sam Donotto, our most recent winner at Pensacola, lines up third with rookie Devin Fair fourth. J.D. Martin runs at the top 5, and surprisingly, we have 3 rookies lining up in the top 10 already. This is an incredible rookie class we have this year. 2 of them already have wins, and another one's getting really close to one lately. Could we see a rookie winner here today?
It would certainly be nice, but if they don't know the course as well as the veterans, they have a bit of a tough challenge ahead of them for sure.
Although keep in mind, all 3 of these guys ran the Nitro National race here 1 year ago, so they do know this racetrack, maybe not in a superstar car, but I'm sure they'll acclimatize pretty quickly. So with that being said, we've got 42 cars ready to line up on the grid, and we're ready to bring you 32 laps of action from Watkins Glen International. This is the 1UP Superstar Series from Watkins Glen, and the green flag is mere moments away. As the field rolls onto the front straightaway, Christian Vargas, Duke Ansack, both in blue and white, getting ready to take us to the green flag, which is out, and it's in the air. We're underway for 32 laps at Watkins Glen. Everybody double wide down into the first corner. Someone's going to try and make it free. Looks like it's Jeffrey Finguy in the back, but everybody files their way through turn 1. Even Stevens for the first few. There's 3 wide further back in the pack, but it looks like everybody's going to make it through as we head up to the S's for the first time.
Yeah, that first corner is usually pretty dicey if you're not careful. I'm sure there's been plenty of racing series who have come here who've had people try to go too wide and end up causing a melee on lap 1. It looks like everybody got clean. Oh, never mind.
Except for Miles Mashburn and Zachary Fitzwater and Chase Chris. They all look like they have immense damage to their cars. Fitzwater and Chris cycling around very slowly. Mashburn out on the spot. Well, I'm sure we'll get a replay of what happened to those 3 in a moment, but for now, the battle for the lead rages on between Sam Donotto, who jumped Duke Ansack at the start of the race, and Christian Vargas, who started on pole. Vargas leads them through turns 6 and 7. We're getting ready to complete the first lap, but 3 cars already out before we've even completed that.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, because they were all looking forward to having a good race, and boom, lap 1, that's it, as Vargas leads the first lap.
Yeah, you can see Fitzwater here all by himself, just struggling to make it back to the pits and retire the car. It's unfortunate for Fitzwater, who finished 3rd in this race last year. He was looking forward to this one. So Mashburn's running about where he started this race, and is he going to get a bump from Jonathan Lawson in the 16? Yes, he is. Oh, that's a big shove into the guardrail. And Zachary Fitzwater is just a victim here. Chase Christ is as well. And you see the whole field slowing down to avoid...
It's a wrong place, wrong time, as Mashburn was trying to get in line, and we already see the result of, wow, what a hit. And I can already hear the clown comments coming from Fitzwater.
So with that, 3 cars out of the race at Watkins Glen on only the first lap. But they'll regroup and get ready for Chicagoland next week. As the battle for the lead is heating up in a big way, Sam Donato dives to the inside of Christian Vargas, trying to take the lead. This could be our first ever lead change in the Superstar Series here at Watkins Glen.
He's not satisfied with just Pensacola. He wants more. I give props to him. He's got momentum. He wants to keep it going.
And with that, Sam Donato completes our first ever lead change at Watkins Glen International. And Donato now leads the way. After Vargas led the first 2 laps, Donato's going to take control for now. We'll see if Vargas can get him back or not. But for now, this double zero is enjoying a very good run of momentum. We talk about Jake McMillan and how this is a home game for him and how he's very good here. Sam Donato's in a similar boat to Jake McMillan. He's a very good here. He always has been. He won the Nitro National race here last year, so he knows how to get around this place. Could he go back-to-back in winning here at this racetrack? Only time will tell. We still got 30 laps to go.
Yeah, and even if it being different series, he would certainly love to be able to do that. It's not Daytona or Talladega or Indianapolis, but something about winning at a place like Watkins Glen International it just makes some people feel really special, like they've accomplished something. If you can win on a road course when you win mostly on ovals, then you've proven yourself as a really good racer.
One guy we always talk about as being a threat on the road course is Mark Davey in the 01. He has fought his way up to 5th in this race, and he's holding off J.D. Martin for that spot. As here comes Devin Fair trying to make a move on Duke Anzac in the 83, going into the bus stop. Anzac cuts him off. That's a great opportunity to make a pass if you can make it stick, but Devin Fair unfortunately was not. Anzac cut him off, and the order remains the same.
It's a good spot to be able to make passes, but it's also a good spot to spin somebody if you're not watching out how close you are to them when you go in, because I imagine if we have anything like that happen today, we're going to have some very unhappy drivers. So just something to watch out for.
Absolutely, but as we complete lap number 4, the order remains the same as it was to complete lap number 3. Vargas running behind Sam Donato and ahead of Duke Anzac running 3rd. Anzac's had a pretty rough couple of races. He's fallen out of the playoff picture now. He's just on the outside looking in, but a good run here today could really improve his odds of making the postseason. And we'll say, as we look at Sam Donato, our race leader, he's pretty much out of the playoff picture entirely. He's just looking to have a solid season from here on out. And he's doing a good job of it. He won at Pensacola last time out, and he's leading now. And he's got a bigger lead here in this race than we saw anybody have in the truck race on Friday.
Yeah, that's definitely something he wants to see, is that 54 getting smaller and smaller in his rear view. And pending any issues, all he has to do is cruise once he gets far enough out.
But remember, we have a pit window to worry about, and potentially 2 of them as well. Some teams may opt for a 2-stop strategy in this race. Others may go for a 1-stop, hoping that getting track position will be worth it more than getting fresh tires. It'll be interesting to see which strategy prevails as we look back now to see Jake McMillan going around the outside of turn 7 around Daniel Bouchard. That's not something you see every day as a driver making a move around the outside there. But Jake McMillan, who dominated the truck race on Friday, started mid-pack, and he's made his way all the way up into the 10th spot now. So good run for the 21. I'm sure he'd love to be leading it once again in the Superstar car here, but honestly, he just wants to make the postseason, and he's doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Yeah, he's just moving right along, making moves as we see Fair up ahead trying to make another move here. But McMillan, he's having a pretty good season, and I think he's just right in there, like you said, ready to get to the postseason.
He won at Portland earlier this season to snap a long winless drought dating back to this race 2 years ago. So McMillan definitely knows how to make moves here. As you can see, most of the field is single file now from here on out. Considering the Mashburn-Fitzwater incident split the pack in half for the most part. Most of the field here is running single file, and I fully expect to see moves being made later, but for now, there's still plenty of racing left to go. No reason to take yourself out of the race too early. Just ride along for now. wait till the pit stop, improve your car if you need to, and go at it later. But for now, Sam Denotto is enjoying a 1.5 second lead over Christian Vargas.
Yeah, I watched him pull away pretty quickly as soon as he got by that 54. He's got a really stout 00, that's for sure. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, only once in 1UP Superstar Series history have we had a back-to-back winner, and that was our first champion, Stephen Hunter, and he won 3 in a row last year. He won at Monza, he won at Kansas, and he won at Phoenix. So Denotto is now looking to become the second driver to accomplish that feat, and he's doing a very nice job holding a very steady wheel in the lead. But it looks like Duke Anzac might be the cork in the bottle here, because it looks like Devin Fair and Mark Davey are a lot faster than him. It's just passing opportunities are very limited here, so finding the right one is key to making it work.
Honestly, all it takes is somebody getting Anzac out of the way, and I honestly think Fair and Davey could try to run down at least Vargas if they can't get to Denotto before pit stops.
And it's not just those two back there. You got J.D. Martin, Ben Mcdonald, Cale Tescott Jr., Justin Hutchinson, and Jake McMillan all back there. So Anzac may be holding them up a little bit as Denotto stretches his lead out to 1.6 seconds. You can see the gap building in every lap, it seems. Denotto is cruising out in front. Remember, he dominated this race a year ago in the Nitro National Series, and of course, for good measure, he holds the fastest lap of this race as well, so give him a bonus point for that. But either way, this is a very commanding drive from Sam Denotto, very similar to what Jake McMillan did 2 days ago, albeit with a much bigger lead.
Yeah, he's just, like I said, he's getting out there to a comfortable enough lead, and he can just start cruising, but not get too comfortable, because he does that, Vargas will be on him real quick.
Yeah, he can't afford to let Vargas close back in any, but he also doesn't want to. Well, he just wants to keep as big a lead as he can, and he's grown it to about 2 seconds now, which is easily the biggest lead we've seen all weekend long. So if Denotto can just maintain this, he should be plenty good to win this race. But we still got a long way to go, as now we've got a side-by-side battle for 6th between J.D. Martin and Ben Mcdonald.
Yeah, McDonald's getting tired of staying single file, because you got Anzac up there. Okay, now finally it looks like Fair's going to make a move, but for a while there, it was almost like you're on the highway stuck behind the county sheriff who's holding everybody up who wants to speed, and now here you go, finally something being done about Anzac Navy.
And look at this, Jake McMillan also got around Justin Hutchinson for 9th, and these two are still side-by-side battling it out for 3rd. Anzac on the inside, Fair on the outside, Mark Davey trying to decide who to go with, and diving it off into turn 6. Anzac has the advantage, but Devin Fair is going to get the advantage into 7, and if he can stay side-by-side, this is going to be a golden opportunity to make the pass stick.
It looks like Fair has the advantage, but Anzac's still holding on. He's got a pretty stout machine. He's just holding on. He does not want to give up that spot as they go into turn 1, and it's still not decided yet. Davey's just hoping they don't wreck and take him with them.
Absolutely. We've seen cars get out of shape in that section of the racetrack before. Flashback to last year when Lane Sanders and Jeffrey Finguy came together and touched off a huge wreck that took out Duke Anzac in that race. So Duke Anzac knows what it's like to have his race ended on that particular section of the racetrack, and he doesn't want to repeat it. But now, you see both Devin Fair and Mark Davey have gotten around Duke Anzac, and now J.D. Martin's going to try and take a look as well. Martin backs out of it, Anzac holds the place.
Yep, now it's time to see what Fair and Davey can do now that they're clear of that 83 machine, as Vargas was able to get away from them a little bit, but of course, 00 Denotto, he's long gone, got a 2.5 second lead now, so got a lot of work to do, pending issues on the pit stops to get up there to Denotto.
And this battle still raging on between Anzac and Martin, with Mcdonald closing in for good measure. Mcdonald makes a move to the inside of J.D. Martin now. Martin got held up by the 83, and now Mcdonald makes a dive to the inside as we look back to Sam Denotto, who's enjoying a 3.2 second lead. He was 0.8 of a second faster on that lap. than anybody else. He's really making a charge as Martin and Mcdonald go side by side once again for 6th.
Yeah, this is about the most exciting we got right now. Is everybody trying to make moves, and while it was Anzac, everybody was trying to get by. Now JD Martin's been held up long enough that it's his turn to get potentially freight trained here as we continue to try to get by him, and it looks like finally he'll get some room and, at least for the moment, be able to keep from losing too many more spots.
But Jake McMillan is waiting to strike. He is climbing his way through the field. He passed Cale Tescar Jr. a few laps ago to move up into 8th spot. Now he's looking at the Cartoon Network Chevrolet of J.D. Martin, looking to find an opportunity to get around as Hutchinson goes quite wide in turn 6. That's going to be something we see a lot today, as Donato's lead just continues to get bigger and bigger. It was 3.2 seconds at the line. Now it's 3.6 seconds the next time they cross the line. This is an amazing run by Sam Donato, a dominating performance. But we've seen in races past this season, the dominant driver doesn't always go on to win this race. So we will see what happens for the remaining 21 laps we have here.
Hey, you talk about that, and then never mind. I don't want to be a commentator curse on Donato. I've already done that too many times recently. So, but honestly, it's just got to keep it strong, keep going, and hope that things fall in his way the rest of the race. And he's in a point right now where he can just cruise, as we see Davey just trying to get all over fair here. He wants 3rd.
And one car that's on pit road already is the 77 of Diego Yepez. He must be going for a 2-stop strategy in this race because he pits way early. He is not going to be able to make it to the end from here. He's banking on a 2-stop strategy being the right way to go to win this race. It's a bold gamble by the Genesis engineering team of Diego Yepez. But you got to try something, because if you follow the leader all day, you're going to end up following the leader.
And speaking of following the leader, it's getting harder and harder for the field to be able to see the leader as he goes through the S's again here. 4.3 seconds. He is... the sponsor certainly fits today. He's a rocket right now.
And you can see Christian Vargas, he has been caught by his teammate Devin Fair and by Mark Davey as well. These 3 running in formation now, about 4.5 seconds behind race leader Sam Donato. But passing has proven to be a little easier today than it was in the truck race on Friday. But by no means is it an easy job still. And you got to pick your opportunities carefully, as Devin Fair trying to get around his teammate to move up into 2nd once again.
Yeah, this could get interesting here, especially if Vargas holds these guys up like Anzac did earlier. So definitely keep an eye on that. As what's the lead at now? Oh wow, 4.5 seconds between Donato and Vargas. This is wow.
It's certainly a big lead, but nowhere near the lead we've seen at races at Indianapolis, for example, in the National Series. Those races get really out of hand if you let them go on long enough. But as of right now, the gap is 4.5 seconds between Sam Donato, the leader, and these 3 battling for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the racetrack. Vargas heading 2 rookies, Fair and Davey, and Fair goes a little wide in the bus stop, trying to get a better line into the carousel. It's going to be interesting to see if he can hold it or not. He's right on the bumper of his teammate and his team owner right now is Devin Fair in the 51.
He wants by, but Vargas is saying, "Nuh-uh, I'm keeping this spot. I can't get to the 00, but I ain't about to lose this spot."
Yeah, Vargas wants a good day. He wants a good day for himself, and he wants a good day for Revolution Racing. They've been on a bit of a weird streak lately. They got that dominating win at Kentucky with Vargas, but it was at the expense of both of their other cars being involved in accidents. So they're looking for a solid day for all their cars as, whoa, Mark Davey gets out of shape, getting underneath Devin Fair. That was almost an accident ready to happen. But they sorted out, and everybody's pointed in the right direction, which is always what we want to see. But right now, Sam Donato leads by almost 5 seconds over the field.
Yeah, this right here, this could get interesting if Vargas and Fair make contact and somebody ends up in the fence. That's going to be an interesting team beating come Monday. So mind yourselves, but don't play it too easy because every spot counts.
You see Devin Fair going through the carousel here. This is a very wide line he's taking, trying to get a lot more momentum on the side. He's going to pull out on his teammate Vargas, trying to duck down to the inside to take the second spot away. We're closing in on halfway in this race as Vargas is coming to pit road. He's going to try undercutting the 00 and the 51 and the 01. So Vargas and Duke Ansack as well, they are coming to pit road early. Are they going to be able to make it to the end on fuel is the question. They're not guaranteed, but we'll see how the undercut treats them as Denoto continues to lead by now 5.3 seconds.
Yeah, the undercut could really help, but at the same time, we've seen mixed results from doing undercut versus overcut before. So only time will tell as this race goes on what's going to work. As Denoto's just rolling along, he ain't worried about nothing right now.
Looking back now at the battle between Justin Hutchinson and J.D. Martin, this is for the 5th or 6th position on the racetrack. The scoring hasn't updated quite yet, but it's going to be very interesting to see which of these cars can get the advantage. As Sam Denoto, he's coming to pit road this time. As his teammate Emma Carter has some significant damage on the back end of her car, as does Nick Ortiz in the 91. They must have had an incident. You can see where they went off track there in turn 7. Not sure if we have an angle of that, but if we do, we'll find it. But here come the leaders to pit road.
Yeah, this is going to be key for Sam Denoto, as he's got a decent cushion. If there's a little slip up, he should be fine, but you don't want any mistakes because sometimes even just the smallest slip up will be what kills your day.
And as you can see, he's got Devin Fair pitting right behind him, so he cannot afford any mistakes. It's pretty much the rest of the field comes in the pit behind Sam Denoto. A couple cars came in early, like Yepez and Vargas, but you can't even see Vargas in the shot once Denoto leaves the pits. He's got a lot of cushion to work with. There's Vargas in the 54 just entering the picture now, but Denoto's long gone. He's going to have a massive lead when this is all said and done. And Vargas might even lose position to Devin Fair and Mark Davey as well.
Yeah, that strategy didn't work. It doesn't seem to work at the moment. But then again, his tires are all warmed up. Where the rest of these guys that he just got around, they've still got to get their tires warmed back up and get going. But right now, he's just gonna go for third place here and hope he can get back his positions.
And he gets around Mark Davey with ease to take third place back. Now the question is, can Christian Vargas get around his teammate Devin Fair and get back into the runner-up position? And more importantly, does he have the fuel to make it last to the end of the race? Oh, and Diego Yepez, we said he had a alternate strategy going on, but it appears there's a mechanical issue plaguing that 77. His day may very well be over on lap 17, and it's a real shame for Yepez as well. He had a really strong car at Portland. He had the dominant car at Indianapolis. His first win is definitely coming one of these days, but it will not come today. A mechanical failure ends his day early, halfway through at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that's a real shame, and it's even bigger shame here seeing Carter and Ortiz with being all dinged up. I'd really like to know what happened to them. That's just unfortunate for them.
Looking now at the back half of the field here, cycling out under the green flag pit stops, but making our way back to the leader, Sam Denoto, who's making his way through the carousel now, and you can see Christian Vargas has caught his teammate Fair. The question I have is, where will Vargas make his move? I know the move's coming, but where will it happen?
Yeah, he's just got to play it out, and there he goes. He didn't have to wait nearly as long as Devin did, but he's making it right now. Though looks like the 51's going to have the preferred line going into turn 7. We'll see what happens.
Vargas does have his tires warmed up, but Fair has the advantage on the inside line. We'll see which prevails as they cross the line. Vargas will have the position at the stripe barely, but Devin Fair will still have the advantage going into turn 1, and they dive it off in there. It's a bit of a tight corner, that one. It's a bit banked as well. But the two Revolution Racing cars remain side by side for the S's, and Vargas is not willing to give this up.
That's important, because if you give it up, you're gonna lose a lot, because you don't want to give up on something like this, especially when you're trying to get some rebound from a rough patch. Because lost my train of thought there, but it's really important you don't give up, and he's trying to hold on.
But he's got to watch his mirrors as well, because he's got Mark Davey and Duke Ansack back there as well. But Sam Donotto is just on the Sunday drive at the moment. He's got a 6.4 second lead over Christian Vargas and Devin Fair. As he crosses the start-finish line to complete lap number 19, we'll see what the lead is this time by. But at this point in time, Sam Donotto is just on a Sunday drive. He's got everything under control. He's got a 7-second lead now. This is this is getting to the point of pure domination from Sam Donotto, and he didn't even start on pole.
No, but we've seen it before. I mean, look at the guy he passed for the lead and has taken off from since. Vargas, like you said before, he didn't even start on the pole in the race. He dominated, and he pretty much led just about every lap and won that. So, pure domination can happen, but we've also seen domination get cut short before a victory lane. I mean, look at Indianapolis.
As a matter of fact, Vargas did lead every lap of the race he went on to win at Kentucky. But that's Kentucky. This is Watkins Glen. It's a lot trickier to pass here, and let's not forget, Christian Vargas is our defending series champion. He knows how to drive these race cars. But to have Sam Donotto, a rising star in the making, come up and pass you just like that on lap 3, it just goes to show you how great a piece that 00 is at the moment. Although, Devin Fair did cut the gap down just a tiny bit. It's still about 7 seconds, but still, it's a little closer than it was the previous lap.
That's pretty good right there, because train of thought lost again, but I'll try this again. This is a really huge lead right here, and I don't think he can even see his competition in the rearview mirror here. Talk about Donotto, but I'm sure his spotters still keeping him aware of where they are. So if something should happen that he had to slow down, there they are just now coming to the picture as he enters turn 6. He's gonna. Go ahead. Yeah,
and here's the rest of the field. And here are the two Vento Motorsports teammates, Mcdonald and McMillan, battling it out for what looks like the 6th position on the racetrack. McDonald has it. McMillan wants it. They're both battling very hard for the position on the racetrack. McDonald's going to hold it for the time being with the superior track position, but McMillan has got a really fast car under him as well, and we can report now that Diego Yepez is out of the race after that mechanical failure that's plagued him on lap 17. But as now we can see, Sam Donotto did better his previous fast lap, but J.Q. Halleck has bettered even Donotto's fast lap. Halleck, with a 1:10.49, has set the fastest lap by a good chunk. So Halleck now holds the fastest lap, and will get a bonus point for that. That can only be good for that 4 team as they try and rebound after a sluggish few weeks.
Yeah, that's going to be big. Every point matters, and even if Halleck is way back in the field right now, that's definitely going to be a bit of a help right there, because, like you said, my mind's just scattered. Sorry about that, but it's really important.
And as Sam Donotto comes to take 10 laps to go this time, his lead now 7.2 seconds. We'll see if it gets any bigger as Devin Fair crosses the line here. But man, yeah, it's 7.4 seconds now. So Donotto is just cruising, and he's raced Devin Fair before in the Nitro National Series last year. He knows how this driver operates. But Fair is not used to running up front in the Superstar Series. He's got a few runner-up finishes, but those came at Bristol, where he's really good, and at Pensacola, where anything can happen. So to run second place at a road course like this, very impressive for the rookie.
Yeah, it's nice to see, and I'm sure he's enjoying it as well. As long as things finish out at the checkered flag with him in second place, or even he would probably like for something to happen to the 00 that would give him the win. But second place is certainly nothing to scoff at,
especially when it's to a dominant drive like this. Sam Denoto is putting a whooping on the rest of this field. He's got a huge lead, and as he powers down the straightaway to take 9 laps to go now, that gap is just only getting bigger and bigger as each race. And here comes Blaine Saylor in the 64 out of the pit. Speaking of Devin Fair, this is a car he owns, part of the Team Dayspring camp, and he will fall a lap down to Sam Denoto as Saylor exits the pits. He likely is on a 2-stop strategy as well. He will fall a lap down to the leader. We'll see if he continues those fresh tires to his advantage.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It doesn't look like it's doing much good because he's had a little bit of time to warm up, and that 00 is just so strong.
You never know, though. That Team Dayspring group has gotten a lot better as of late, so we'll see if the 64 can use those fresh tires to its advantage to power around Denoto at some point in this race. But we still have 9 laps to go, and anything's still on the cards. But when your lead is 7.7 seconds, you gotta start wondering, is something gonna happen to ruin this race? Because we've seen it happen before. It's just a matter of holding it together for these remaining 8 laps.
You don't want anything to ruin your race, that's for sure. But you gotta be watch out for it. It's like they say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You don't just settle down and say, oh, we're good. Because next thing you know, you'll get blindsided by something not good, and you'll be in shock.
Certainly the case, as we focus in on Christian Vargas now, running in the 3rd position. I think what he's trying to do now, he's probably sees that Devin Fair is faster than him. What he's trying to do is 2 things. He's trying to save fuel to try and make it to the end of this race, and he's also trying to hold off Mark Davey at the same time. That is not an easy thing to do, but if anyone's going to do it, it's the defending series champion.
Yeah, he didn't get to be the champion by just riding around and letting people pass him and not taking chances or pulling strategy calls. It takes a lot of that to just even have a hope of getting a championship, let alone actually get it.
And remember what I said about Blaine Saylor taking advantage of those fresh tires? Well, he is all over the back of Sam Denoto right now. We are coming to the end of this race, about 7 laps to go now, and Saylor could play a factor. He's going to try and unlap himself from the 00. It's not going to be easy because he's at a significant horsepower disadvantage, but even still, the fresh tires might make a difference as he chases after the 00.
Yeah, this is the most pressure that Denoto has seen since he took the lead, so it's got to be a little bit irritating for him there inside that car. Just wondering why the lap guys are all over him like that. He's just trying to focus on his race, and here you got the 64 coming along like, hello.
Yeah, Saylor would love to finish on the lead lap in this race, but he's got to work for it, that's for sure, as the gap's actually gone down to about 7.1 seconds. So, Denoto being harried by that lap car is slowing him down some, and that is allowing Vargas and Fair and Davey to close in on him. So Sam Denoto's not out of the woods yet by any stretch.
No, and the longer Saylor keeps bugging him, and the more it holds him up, as okay, the gap's gone back up a little bit, but if he has that happen again where the gap continues shrinking and he hears the intervals called out as narrower and narrower over time, he's going to be one to do something about that 64.
Yeah, he's yelling to the spotter for the 64. Just stay out of my way. Just don't interfere with the rest of this race. But Blaine Saylor's got a lot to fight for. He wants to get back on the lead lap, get the best finish he can for his team. But it's just a matter of give and take. And when you're closing in on the end of this race, there's not much give left.
No, there certainly is not. And it's this kind of situation where if Saylor were in front of Denoto, there'd have to be the courtesy flag shown to him to get him to move over. But being right there, just behind the leader, dogging him is like I said, it's got to be bugging Denoto.
And Saylor has every right. Saylor has every right to try and unlap himself. He's got the fresher tires. He's got the position right behind him. He's got every right to do it. It's just a matter of being polite and doing so. You don't want to ruin the leader's race, as we've seen happen to Sam Denoto by lap traffic before. Flashback to Pensacola in the Nitro National Series last year. That was a heartbreak for that team. But still, we still got 5 laps to go, and anything can still happen in this one. But we got a lot of battles on this racetrack. We've got Duke Anzac, Ben Mcdonald, and Jake McMillan all under a blanket right here. As it looks like we've had a few cars with problems. We've got Andres Molina out of the race. Henry Thomas is done for the day. And Justin Hutchinson, he's got a lot of damage on that on that 10 car. Stephen Gale exiting the pits very slowly. Hutchinson was running in the top 10, and it looks like he's got a massive amount of damage on that 10 car. I'm sure we're going to find what happened to this 10 and several others. Andres Molina was having a good day, and his race is over. Anderson Reed was having a strong day, and his race has been ruined. What in the world has happened to cause all these cars to have such a big issue this late in the race? So here was Hutchinson. He was running right behind J.D. Martin, and it looks like there was a mechanical issue that slowed this 10 car down. He was really slow through the S's, and he's probably just going to get run over here. Yes, he is. Oh, by Zach Rogers in the 71, making his first superstar start of the season, and then everybody starts piling in. Jeff Bolton was having a good day. His race ruined now. And as you can see, a lot of cars snaking their way through the mess, but Andres Molina's race is done. Stephen Gale's race has been ruined. Justin Hutchinson out of the race. Molina out of the race. A lot of cars that were having pretty strong days wiped out because of Justin Hutchinson's mechanical.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate right there. And it's unfortunate when things like that happen. We were so focused on Saylor, Dog, and Denoto here that we missed that Hutchinson fell out of the top 10. So that is just really unfortunate for the 10 crew and everyone else who got caught up in that.
They will move on to Chicagoland hoping for better, but for now, we have 3 laps to go. The gap's 7.6 seconds between Denoto and Fair, and it looks like Devin Fair has pulled away by a good margin from his teammate Christian Vargas, and now all Vargas needs to do is stretch his fuel to make it to the end and hold off Mark Davey, and that's not easy to do, especially on a road course.
No, it certainly is not. You got a guy pressuring you even just a little bit from behind, and you're trying to go, and as is the case with this course, up and down the hills, around the curves. You're trying to maintain everything the best you can without getting run over or overtaken by everybody. At the same time, you don't want to run out of fuel.
Absolutely. We're closing in on 2 laps to go. Blaine Saylor is still harassing Sam Denoto in a very annoying fashion, but he's got to do it. He's got to try and get his lap back in any way he can. We're closing in on the end of this race. And Blaine Saylor's got plenty of fuel. He pitted much later than everybody else. He's on a 2-stopper. But as Devin Fair comes off turn 7, as Vargas comes up, and as Davey comes off, let's see what the gap is at the line, and we'll see. Oh my goodness, it's 8 seconds between Denoto and Fair. This is an insane lead. Might be the biggest margin of victory we've had all season. But at this point in time, I would like to bet that Blaine Saylor is going to have something to say about the end of this race. Even if he's mired deep in the field a lap down, he may have something to say about this before it's all said and done.
Yeah, he's like the fly that won't leave the cow alone in the field. Just he's buzzing around the face and ears and everything, and all Denoto is able to do right now is just Oh, we might have something here.
Yeah, Saylor got a good run out of the carousel. He's powering around the outside of turn 6 to get around Sam Denoto. So we're coming to the white flag this time, but Blaine Saylor has successfully unlapped himself, and now Sam Denoto is going to have a big challenge because this lap car is going to be holding him up big time as we set out for this final lap.
Yeah, that's definitely not something Denoto wanted to see, but maybe, just maybe, Saylor will finally leave him alone is probably what he's thinking. Is now all he's got to do is mind his B's and Q's and get through the S's and through the rest of this lap and not have anything else to worry about. As wow, the gap has dropped again for Devin Fair back there, but pending an issue with Saylor catching Denoto up in an incident, I don't see this race being lost by the 00.
Coming through the bus stop for the final time, Sam Denoto got his first career win in the Superstar Series, last time out at Pensacola, at the track that derailed his season before it even had a chance to get started. Denoto powering down the short chute for the final time. He's the dominant driver in the Nitro National Series. Stephen Gale's up ahead. He won't be a factor. Coming through turn 6 for the final time and heading for turn 7. We have only seen once before a driver win back-to-back races in the 1-Up Superstar Series. Get ready, we're about to see it a second time as Sam Denoto waves to his home crowd and scores a big win in the 1-Up Superstar Series, career win number 2. He gets it at Watkins Glen. Sam Denoto takes a dominant victory here at Watkins Glen ahead of Devin Fair, who at the stripe will come home 7.7 seconds back to tie his career best finish. Christian Vargas third, Mark Davey fourth. Duke Anzac holds on to the final top 5 position ahead of the 2 Venta cars of Mcdonald and McMillan 6th and 7th. J.E. Martin 8th. Daniel Bouchard makes a welcome return to the top 10 in 9th. Jared Polanski, as sneaky as he always is, rounds out the top 10 just ahead of William Brock and Cale Tescar Jr. Well, as soon as we saw that 00 make a pass for the lead at Watkins Glen, something we'd never seen before, you knew it was going to be his day.
Yeah, as soon as he got clear, he started pulling away, and I'm just yeah, this is gonna be Denoto domination, and I was right. And Saylor bugging him like a gnat was just not gonna deny him. It is a big deal for him to be able to go not just win, but make it his second win in a row. So definitely worth celebrating.
And Sam Denoto pulls into his pit. He will have plenty of people waiting to celebrate with him there. What a commanding drive from that 00 team. Brings Coder Racing System their 3rd win of the season, 2 with Denoto and 1 with Duke Anzac as well. What a drive from Sam Denoto. You can't really say he did anything wrong there. He just put on an absolute clinic. But that might all change this time next week when we arrive at Chicagoland Speedway for race number 17 of the season. And remember, we only have 4 more races to go until the playoffs start, so anything can happen between now and then as the field pulls on the pit road to say goodbye to this race at Watkins Glen. And we're going to say goodbye for now as the field pulls in as... Well, Sam Denoto just put in a dominating drive. That's all I can really say. He dominated this race, did everything right, and oh boy, well, if you're going to have a problem
alrighty then.
At the end of this, if you're going to have a problem in this race, at least let it be at the end, as Nick Ortiz found out the hard way, and Anderson Reed screeching to a halt to avoid it. I'm sure we're going to see a few more like that. Yep, Jeff Bolton as well. We might have to reiterate this in the driver's meeting. Yellow barrels equal bad. But...
yeah, that... oh, wow.
Yes, but from James Ellison and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Watkins Glen International. We'll see you again next week at Chicagoland Speedway, but for now, we offer our big congratulations to Sam Denoto. For the 2nd week in a row, he gets a big win in the Superstar Series, and this time, he does it in front of the home crowd here at Watkins Glen International.